Hey everybody, thanks for joining the Howie and Beastmode Business Strategy and Execution Podcast. Beastmode, nice to connect.
Yes, it is, Howie. Even throughout everything that's going on, it's always a staple of my week to connect with you, see how business is going, not just between us, but across this nation and across the globe. So I know that there's several things that are on your heart, and so let's just get a quick hit today.
Yeah, very good. We'll do a quick one today. So what are you experiencing right now business-wise? Like what, have you seen any impacts so far from the downturn?
Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of impact personally. I know that there is a large impact across the nation and across the globe, really. There's a lot of fear and uncertainty. And so, with that fear and uncertainty, I've seen a lot of apathy and complacency that people are putting out there, which is I'm not a big fan of. And they're looking. I've seen a lot of individuals, a lot of businesses looking for an outside source to fix their problems, to come up with a solution, whenever I believe that each of us have the capabilities to be able to solve our own problems, to work towards a solution. So that's where I'm big, fired up, and ready.
Yeah, I think right now there's a lot of people, especially online on LinkedIn and stuff like that, who, everybody's kind of got their trite answers. Everybody's kind of got their quick sound bites and their quick little advice, and they've never been through anything in their life, or whatever it may be. This is unprecedented times. No one has good answers. I think for me, the best idea is to focus on first principles, things like customer value, things like hard work, being organized, being diligent, following up well, just normal execution stuff, because it's not, when you're on a ship and you're at sea and you're facing a tsunami, I mean, it's just going to be hard. So I don't think the trite answers that people are giving do a lot, frankly. And I'm sorry that you're experiencing some personal impacts. I am too. And I think, one of the first principles that I would like to talk about today is something that you and I discussed, which is that sometimes a business owner, an executive, or a whole company can maybe be technically right or philosophically right, or even historically right, and yet dead wrong when it comes to what they should be doing now and how they should be evolving now. I'm seeing some business decisions right now, I think you are too, that might be technically right, but they might actually be a setback. They might be damaging in the, maybe not the short term, but in the midterm. I know your personal situation with your story, and you heard my story earlier too. And since we're both in business, we have to kind of respect, those situations with confidentiality. But, we are seeing a lack of evolving, I think, in some of these ways. If you look at, back to, I know no one knows what happened exactly, but, the story that we sometimes hear from scientists about possible reasons for dinosaur extinction. I mean, dinosaurs were operating within the parameters of their design. I mean, they were giving birth, they were eating, they were drinking, they were sleeping, they were doing the things that dinosaurs do. And yet, new forces came to play of some kind and wiped them out. They were not able to evolve. So I think one thing that we have to do right now is we have to, go back to some first principles that are timeless and that are conditionless, like value. But then we also have to think about tactically, evolving and being flexible. And I am seeing some inflexibility. I think you're seeing some inflexibility as well. Yeah. And it might be easy for us to say, but those are true observations.
Yeah, and it's hard. From my perspective, on the business development side, it's hard because many of these industries, companies, large sectors have been, honestly, if they're honest with themselves, have been praying for an opportunity to make up the gap between them and their competitors. They've been asking for an opportunity to where they're able to jump when their other is only able to crawl. And this is that opportunity in my mind, to where you can go back to first principles, you can really push and strive ahead, and you can really make up big gaps and big differences in a short amount of time. It doesn't mean it doesn't come without effort. It doesn't mean that it doesn't even come with pushback or even potential setback in doing that. But what it does is it, in this time frame, it allows you to be adaptable, to use this as what I've said it the past 2 weeks as wind in your sails. And it just allows you to really take that cement out of your shoes and really get going.
Okay. It was kind of frozen for me for a minute there, unfortunately. So yeah, no, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. You know, there's opportunities right now that need to be capitalized on. You know, and there's some risks there, but we've got to take those risks.
Yeah. And again, it's not about reinventing a wheel. Sometimes it's about just striving ahead and moving forward. And getting back to first things first. Again, what does the customer need? What does your client need? What is their problem? And how can I be a solution to it? Nothing has changed in that small conversation. They still have a problem. You still have a way to a solution. And just providing
Absolutely.
that in the most empathetic way possible, meeting them in the middle and creating a long-term customer and a long-term client.
And I think that empathy is a great keyword, beast mode right there, because when you think about it, that's how you're going to, that is sort of the stimulus for you evolving as a business, you know, because you have to, you know, basically by taking the inputs of the customer's pain, the customer's maybe, and this time the customer's fear, the customer's need, and adapting your solution, adapting your business around the customer's need. I think that's a really big thing right now. So when you say as a business owner or as a salesperson, you know, how am I going to evolve right now? And I think it's look at the need.
Yeah.
So the empathy word you used spoke to me. That was good.
Yeah, and there's an opportunity here
Sorry.
for us to really take this. Some of us have,
I must have coronavirus.
oh man, let's not speak that on yourself or each other.
Sneezing.
But there's an opportunity here, and from even from a leadership standpoint, some of us have been waiting to implement new ideas, either up the pipeline or down the pipeline, and because it wasn't the right time or there was going to be too much pushback. Now is the time where people are looking for answers. If you're going up the pipeline, they're looking for you to continue your sales process, and they're willing to accept any ideas that you throw up. If you're going down the pipeline, these people are looking to have their jobs maintained. They're looking to have their status quo continued. And so if you ask them to do things that are over and above what they normally would say no to, they would probably do it because they're willing and able. And as in business, this is a key time to where we can do that. We could take advantage of everybody. Goes to our customers and our clients. Everybody's looking for a solution, and you have an opportunity to be a solution or to be nothing.
Good. It's good. Yeah, I think, you know, there's going to be times, you know, like this in our careers. You know, there's no easy answers, but I think empathy was a great keyword there. Empathy as the trigger for you being able to evolve and adapt, I think is really good. Also, sometime I want to do a whole podcast with you on courage.
Yeah.
And I've actually thought about doing a webinar on it too. Could be the same thing though. But courage is sort of a choice. It's not like you and I don't have this fear. We're talking like every business should adapt and change and be empathetic and everything, but it's not like we don't have fear too. You know, we're going through this situation with everybody else. I'm making jokes about having coronavirus because I sneezed twice in front of you on this podcast. I mean, literally, it's real. It's everywhere. I just heard a story. I think it was today, actually. Someone that's just 1 degree of separation away has it from us. So, I mean, it's real. But you know what? We're going to go through these hard times. So let's try to learn from it and digest it and have some courage in this process. And courage is a choice, isn't it?
It is a choice. And let's not forget that while we're making a personal choice to courage, we have a choice to pick those up around us. So there's lots of businesses there's lots of businesses, big and small, that we have an opportunity. And again, focusing on what you can do. For me, my business and the sector that I'm in, I can't do the same thing that say Amazon can do, but I can take care of my part. And if I do my part and you do your part, we all do our part, then you know what? We actually fight this thing and come out a lot cleaner on the other side.
I think that's really true. It's good. Well, thanks for connecting. I certainly enjoyed it, and we did a short one this time. We'll do a normal length next time. We're having to fit this into crazy life and crazy world. But the benefit to y'all from tuning in is that we literally are both in business, and so we bring stuff like literally on the ground that we're seeing from two different sectors of business development and business management. So I think it's just a really good perspective. So Beastmode, obviously really great to chat with you again. Good luck with navigating these troubled waters, and thanks for talking about empathy today, because I think that is the trigger to the business evolution, is listening to what the customer needs and what the customer is in pain about.
Very true. Let's just have courage together to uplift each other and to really uplift those around us. I think we can, if we start there, we'll be on the right track.
And it feels great too.
It does. There's no downside. There's no downside to being empathetic or being courageous. Let's be real and start with there. All right.
Good, man. That was good. Appreciate you.
See you soon. Be blessed.